Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Daddy, I said, you know you run things for years. And now Ricky down says so if the people say so. So come big up your chest like you are strong man. Done it up, anything we say, you know ball out, done it up. Done it up. Pull it all suit, yes you are done it up. Bally sneakers, yes you are done it up. Put it in your mouth, yes you have it done it up. Wear your pre-wash, yes you have it done it up. Done it up. Easy daddy Osika, you know you have it done it up. Because the mic attack away me do them say me done it up. In a chin I done it up, I kind of swing. And to done it up, some people don't do anything. Walk up and down, and I thief up. People think man upon mama man. Woman I turn lesbian, woman I sell them body. Just to get some love in them man. Being the latest style and the latest fashion. Woman I want no man, if she know him not done it up. Drive right a car, who no ball out, done it up. BMW, yes you are done it up. Bullet Bills Benz, yes you are done it up. Easy daddy Ricky, cause you know you have it done it up. Boom, kakakai, done it up. Trinidad people, yes the love to done it up. Man and woman, yes the love to done it up. Even young children, me know them a done it up. Grammy and papi, yes them a done it up. Big gold chain, yes them a done it up. Big ID band, yes them a done it up. Coming down the Africa, you know you copy done it up. Boom, kakakai, done it up. Kakakai, boom, kai, done it up. Phenomena one or two, and I miss it. Pick up your chest, woman, you are done it. When you profile in the latest, girl, I watch you out the road. Batting them a wish, them a done it down because them can't low kips and you a done it up. Boom, boom, shot, yes, you a done it up. Your man a mind you, yes, you a done it up. Sexy body, yes, you have it done it up. Done it up. Anything me say, who know ball out, jar it up. Drink that bottle, yes, you a done it up. Drink champagne, yes, you have it done it up. Gun in your waist, yes, you have it done it up. Done it up. Boom, kai, done it up. Easy daddy Aussie, yes, we have it done it up. Because the mic attack, and we them say me done it up. In a Trinidad, done it up, a kind of swing. And to done it up, some people them a do
Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
And of course, as we get closer and closer to the weekend, and all other people will be doing that sort of thing, right? Turning it up. They say that still. I don't know. That was a big thing way back then. Turn it up. Good morning to you, Trinidad. Good morning to folks in Tobago. Good day to you. Neighbors in the Caribbean, good day to you. How are the people doing? All the people who are streaming all around the globe, our friends, our family, acquaintances, our supporters, good day to you. And of course, thank you so much for making us your choice each and every day and choosing us, New Era TT Radio. That is where you are. NETT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. We take you above and beyond. As always, I want to say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day and all that we do, dear God. Let it be a blessing on to you. People of yours truly said, Charles, happy am I to be in this space with you. It's a Thursday, it's a throwback Thursday. Just we got some really nice throwbacks for you all day today on the net, right? So we welcome everybody. This is your Get Up and Go. I do welcome you on this day to the Breakfast Show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The Breakfast Show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your double or your morning drink.
Yes, indeed. The breaking and the making of a new day. It is here as we welcome everybody to the Breakfast Show on the Era TT Radio and, of course, on Gael Caribbean TV. I'm hoping that we are there. They're here with us early this morning. And we say good morning to, well, Richard will join us as we go along. But guess what? Wendell is always here very, very early. So, Wendell, good morning to you.
Morning, Charles. Good morning, Church. I get a little echo. Good morning,
Yes.
and good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe, especially those out there in, where's this match playing? I'm not sure. South Africa is playing West Indies right now, people. West Indies, of course, South Africa won the toss and put West Indies into bat. And after a pretty promising start by Brandon King and Shea Hope, West Indies are now 60 for 5 in the 7th over. Look at this shot, Jason Holder now. Lord Father. West Indies like the one that everybody vexed today.
This is a one day?
Yeah?
It's a one day?
This is the 2020.
20 overs?
This is a match that we have to win, if you know what I mean. Because to get into the semi-finals, but I don't know what's going on with West Indies today. Of course, South Africa, not to take away anything from South Africa, they're bowling well. And West Indies could have been in a worse position if South Africa had taken a couple of catches that they dropped. You understand? We could have been worse off. A man take a catch on the boundary and tumble over and it went for 6. He really should have done better. You know what I mean? But why am I depressing you all with the cricket? Because I watching it. Lord.
People are still looking forward to that, just like you. They're probably in the same depressing state right now, getting up early to watch that and then realizing what's going on.
Yeah, but you know, oh gosh, West Indies, Shimron Hepma, you can't whoop every innings. You get away with whooping in the last few innings. As a matter of fact, every time you made runs in the last few innings, you got dropped early. Doesn't that tell you something? Somebody's going to hold on to that catch one day, and guess what? South Africa did it today. Held on to the catch. You understand? and now we 60 for 5. Huh?
So that is a strong point of hope.
But it is Vopers we have, Sir Charles. This Vop is a Vop team. We have the proper batsman there, Shea Hope. That is the only proper batsman we have on the team.
All right.
Ross Sanchez, I don't know, like he getting picked a ball now. What a feel. You know, but anyway. It just sometimes is very depressing. But let's hope, because I know South Africa is a team that could capitulate too. Once you get early South African wickets, they could capitulate also, right? So
right.
Let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. Tetmire is a Vooper. And he's a Vooper, I think, with mental problems. That boy mental. I never see somebody's grin when they do stupidness. He grin. Throw his head up in the air and start a grin when he do his stupidness.
What kind of selectors all have for West Indies cricket?
Boy, Darren Sammy, I tell you, he's do just enough. He's do just enough to make sure that he keep the job. That's all.
Right.
He's do just enough to make sure he keep the job.
He working for the pension.
Yeah, just enough he's do to keep the job. You understand? But I mean, I want us to win. I really want us to win. I want us to do well in this T20. You know, I think we deserve it. We've been playing not pretty decent cricket. You know what I mean? So let's hope for the best. But South Africa have 2 fast bowlers, 2 tall African men. They're tall and they're fast. You understand?
They remind you like what? Like Andy Roberts, that kind of thing?
They're taller than Andy Roberts, by far.
Yes, wow. Well, that ball coming from high up.
Yeah, and they're vast. You understand? But let's see.
Oh.
Anyway, today, of course, well, we have a guest today, Dr. Nicholas Maharaj. He will be our guest in the second hour, of course. We're talking brain health, and I mean, I would probably give a testimony along those lines. But some of the other, most of the programs we have, I can relate to it, you know, and this is something that's troubling a lot of people I know, with people suffering from Alzheimer's/dementia, you know, and we have had, our family has recently been faced with that type of struggle, you know. So I'll probably give my story a little later. But we're going to get into the news later, but let's do the good news, Sir Charles.
Yeah. I'm trying to type something.
I'm reading a story here about Gambia. Now, I visited Gambia already. Once we stumbled over the border by accident, and then the last time I went, we went into Gambia. It says the African country where European grandmothers, or they need to listen to this, some Trinidadian grandmothers, flying for young black men's attention. In Gambia, thousands of older European women fly there every year for one specific reason. It's called bumsters. Young, fit, charming Gambian men patrol the famous Senegambia strip beaches day and night, scanning for older Western women traveling alone. British, Dutch, Swedish, German, Trinidadians. No, that's added in that.
Yeah, well, of course, we must be there. We must have a one or two.
Trinidadians. They all come. The women get attention, romance, and companionship. The men get money, gifts, and if they're lucky, a UK visa. These women are not shy about it. One woman in her 60s who had visited 15 times in 8 years went on live TV and said, "You could have a different man every night. It's paradise." It's paradise. It's paradise. I said that story to my nephew just now. Because we were in Gambia last time.
And this is where Gambia
is right on the border of Senegal. So you literally drive across to Gambia. Well, of course, you had to go through some very sketchy Gambian officials on the border, right? They're very sketchy.
But in some cases, you may not have to, because a ticket to go on that side of the world might be a whole lot of money. So
Yeah.
but you can do that right here in Tobago too, you know.
I know. That's what I was reading.
I ain't too sure about the visa part of it, but at least.
Some people could say, but why going all the way in Gambia for? I could go right across in Tobago.
Yeah, you can just go on. Look good and walk the beaches.
71 for 6 people. It's not looking good.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go into our good news, and we'll see what happens on the other side of that. Don't give us any more bad news from West Indies. If they cannot make it to 100 with the 6, all right. Anyhow, we will be good news time, people.
เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวันเขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลยไม่ได้รวยขึ้นไม่ได้ออกทีวีไม่มีใครรู้จักไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้นเพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
Yeah, so that was our good news there for you. For a lot of people who will just be listening on because we are multi-streaming. You get people on the TV, which is on the dial, and then our social media, Facebook and YouTube. They would have seen what's going on. But for the people who are on our website at www.NETT Radio.com, we probably had to get managed to do the actual interpretation for us, right? Because it sounds like Japanese.
Yes.
But it was a very inspiring video of this guy, and he was just, helping out people, helping out the dog, and gaining a friend in between all of that. I think the high point for the video for me was when he he came back and he saw where this little girl, the little child now.
Yeah, went to school.
Yeah, with her mother. So when he probably came and saw the mother, he must be telling himself, wait now, oh gosh, what's going on here? You know, like he probably see her there like probably every day or whatever. But now he's not seen her. So he probably must have thought something happened to her. Because she and the mother was, the space was empty. Mm-hmm. And then he looked up and she's calling, but she's, you know, like, hey, thanks for your assistance. You know, I went to school.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you ever saw the other one. There's another video, a similar one with a young man who was always late for school. And the teacher would beat him, would give him strokes now, you know, because he was always late. Right. And one day the teacher decided to go by his home to see why he always late, and saw him that he was helping out his elderly grandparents every morning before he ran off to school. You understand? And I mean, that would have changed the teacher's perspective of him. And of course, because he wasn't a bad student, but he was always late. You know what I mean? And how many people who would have grown up with that kind of challenge in the rural areas to help with a farm or help with something before they leave home, help with chores. Because there are some parents back in the day, you had to do your chores. You couldn't give an excuse why you couldn't do chores.
No, I myself, I remember we were talking about that yard situation. My thing was, before I get out to school, I had to get up in the morning and take that cookie broom and sweep the yard. And I have a particular portion of it I had to sweep and pick up all those leaves that came down from the tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't have parents for very long when I was young, but I had my chores done. My eldest sister, God rest her soul, made sure I went out to the yard and scrubbed that canal and sweep that yard with our cookie broom. And we had a chenet tree. We didn't have a tree in our yard except maybe a guava tree. We had a tamarind tree in the back, and people who know living around a tamarind tree know what a tamarind tree gives in terms of the leaves and the fruit and the actual tamarind when it falling. Is millions of leaves falling from a tamarind tree.
I'm telling you, boy. What?
We had a cheddar tree in front, so both trees not in our yard but hanging over our yard, and you had to clean these leaves every single day. Oh God, I swear I was abused as a child.
But those things are and were very important. You know, chores are very important. Responsibility. Even a simple thing as having your children when they get up in the morning, just to make up the bed. Or, you know, just those simple things, rather than just get up, you go out to school or work and you come back, you jump in the same bed. My mother would have never allowed that either. Yeah, you know. So
I tried, but I give up because I am the type of person I would do it myself. When I come and I see a dirty yard or whatever, I cleaning it, and it's their yard, but I cleaning it. I telling him I have a son. Like, I don't even think he know what the back of the yard look like.
No, and that is the thing with a lot of parents and children today. A lot of children don't know what it is to do any sort of chores. You know, even little things around their homes, they don't know what it is. You know, back in the day, and I guess we are the ones to blame because we have not passed on some of these things to them. We allow them because, like all the hard work, all the yard you sweep, and all the leaf you pick up. You know, some parents, I don't want my child to do that. I don't want him to have nothing to do. I will do everything, but you can't do everything for them.
No, you can't. I always tell my children, the day I exit from here, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, they might have to sell everything and go and live in a hotel.
Yeah, some people they don't do that.
Let the hotel staff do everything for you. Anyway, West Indies people, more depression. 83 for 7. All right, if we get 100, we're lucky. But let me greet the people in the chat.
It looked like every 10 runs in a Sousa wicket. So by the time they reach 100, they're going to be out.
You're right, you know. You're right. Your mathematics spot on in a kind of. Anyway, Robert Allen says good morning. He was in at 11:37 p.m. last night. Eunice Dublin, Valerie Mendoza. Richard not here to bring up the highlight your names, right, folks? We apologize. Anthony Pinto.
You're not too far, don't worry.
Margaret Thomas says good morning. Odell Guy, who wants a piece of my African rose, I will get it for you, Odell. I hope you know the pick on his burner. Apollina says good morning, wonderful people. Manuela Peters, Marlon Motley, Slick Money Grip, Boy Bidesi from Debe, like he did. Diane Payne, Ozzy Molino, Robert Taylor, Wendy Ann James, Frank and herself. She is commenting on the cricket here. Cathy Ann Charles and Arlene out there in Bronxville, Texas. Cathy Ann, who is coming to your play, Richard, on this weekend. Carol Guevara, Arlene Lois, Debbie Modest, Joyce Phillip, Gavin Frank, Merle McComey, Pearl Cordis, Pearl and Stacey Ann Cordis, of course. Morning, Stacey Ann. Nicola McNichols, Carla Hercules also says good morning. Victor Phillip is saying good morning. Pamela O'Connor, Ava Smith, Scorpion Pepper is up early with us today. Mrs. R is also up early with us. Kiskity, I was going to ask you, that was something from the Kiskity Caravan. Who was that though? Who was that performer?
Daddy Ozzy.
Daddy Ozzy. Ozzy as in Ozzy Merrick?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice, man. Nicola McNichols, who was also part of that Kiskity Caravan. Dave Gosain, Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona, Sherwin and Juliet Kerr. Carlisle Cupid, Ava Smith is also saying have a great day. Mrs. R's mom is always watching cricket. Colton Finch says good morning. Dave Gosain said, yeah, he was dropped. A man no get lash in the head there, yes. A West Indian batsman get no get lash in the head there, yes.
Yeah, the same tall man.
Yeah. Romario Shepherd is a tall guy and he just get lash in his head from a bouncer. David Ware said, Wendell, West Indies would give us hype. No, West Indies don't give me nothing again. Trust me. I watch West Indies and just watch. I just watch cricket now. Carlisle Cupid, we don't have any good batsmen. They can't handle Rabada and Nindini. And what is the next one? There's the next one. Ndidi, I think. Wendell, stop that depressing talk. I can't help it this morning, boy. Dave Gosain is saying Joel Garner was our tallest fast bowler.
Yes.
Yeah, Joel Garner was our tallest fast. I think he was almost 7 feet. He was 6'8" or something like that. Carlisle Cupid, a bunch of whoopers with little or no proper technique. So true. Hillbench, good morning. James Kamau, Alistair Hart also says good morning. Please keep your fingers and toes crossed. Boy Bidesi is commenting on the cricket. Ilarizan, Scorpion Pepper, Gambia is nice. Gambia is a paradise. Hey, you. Anyway, let me leave you alone. I wonder why you went. Scorpion, morning. Dean Allen, hi everyone. So Charles, remember we had this convo why we have to keep the test cricket with shapes batsmen. 2020 will generally develop whoopers. Well, 2020 is entertaining cricket, and it's cricket that's making money for a lot of people now, making them filthy rich. Trinidad Margot, good morning. David McCarthy, Colton Finch, Dwayne Sylvester, that's a new name. Sherwin and Juliet Sherwin Kerr is Wendell, but T20 is whooping entertainment, not real. I wouldn't say it's not real cricket, but it is entertaining cricket. Ambrose Blast says good morning. Trini Merle Kitchen. Let me get some new people. Jaron Joseph is back. Morning, Jaron. Amanda and Damian Edwin is also back. Red Rasta is back. Melchizedek is back. Cheryl Maraj is also saying good morning. And those are the greetings for today.
All right, so let me say good morning to Frank out there in Aruka, who was in very early, to Kent and Laventel. Good day to you, Kent. Also to Peter Wilson, Archbishop Ashton Clark in Canada, Brenda in Penal. Hi, Brenda. NETT Radio. I mean, out there in New York, CJ out there in New York, I say it right. Rena Budu Jennings, good morning to you. Mr. Beeps in Peter Valley and Mr. Billy in Powder Magazine. Sexy Reds, getting ready for work. And also to Pauline, who is on the chat very early. Thank you very much, everybody. Hi, Richard. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning, guys. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
You sounded like you sleep last night.
Actually, no, I didn't get that much sleep at all. Actually, you know, I always count on many hours sleep I get. That's automatic. I always watch what time I go to bed. I always ask what time I went to bed and what time I get up. I'm always calculating: is that 5? Is that 4.5? Is it 5? Is it 6? So it's less than What's that?
No, I didn't sleep at all last night. I had some weird dreams. Very weird. I was even tempted to message people at that hour because I was up. No,
you want to have people wake up with you?
No, I was just because they were in my dreams and it wasn't in a nice way.
Oh, okay.
So I was tempted, and then I said, you know something, let me take the depression alone. You know? Let me face the depression alone. So I just didn't bother. You know?
Especially if you don't have a history of your dreams coming true.
Yeah, I had a terrible night. You know? And I didn't take my sleep gummies thinking I would fall asleep easily because I did a little exercise yesterday, you know, but like exercising now, it does make my body more awake, yes, more up. It don't tire me out as I'm supposed to get tired and fall asleep. It's had me kind of jittery. It's like a drug.
All right, but we're running a little behind time, so let's go to our commercial break, and then we come back and do the newspapers and all the other things that are coming on the other side. Stay with us.
From the producers of You Don't Leave Out to Watch Corn, now comes the first play of 2026, Scandal in Cedrus. What can possibly be going on in Cedrus? Scandal in Cedrus premieres at the Central Bank Auditorium for 2 nights only on Saturday the 28th of February at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday 1st of March at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are out now at all usual outlets and at the Central Bank Auditorium from the week of Monday the 23rd of February. Scandal in Cedrus. You ain't ready for this
Scandal
one.
in Cedrus, boy, the place gone mad.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
We are back, and of course, just to add to the good news, we are in possession of all the prizes now for karaoke. So we are going to have the prize given tomorrow, 4 o'clock at Rumbox on Western Main Road in St. James. All right, we have all the prizes. So we expect the winners to come down, and anybody, you are all welcome to come down to Rumbox. It's right on the Western Main Road, just before Euphies, right after Subway. So if you have reached Subway and you pass Euphies, then you've passed Rumbox. Rumbox is right in between that space. Right?
Subway's on the corner?
Subway's on the corner.
And
is on the other corner.
If you're heading west after subway across the corner, and you're all right there.
Yeah, we have city furniture. Then there's a building with a school, a private school, and then Rumbox. Rumbox is in the driveway. You can't miss it.
Oh, okay.
Right down in the driveway where nobody can see you. You can hide. That's why Rumbox so popular, because you're on the main road, but you're not on the main road. You know what I mean? So we go straight into the newspapers today. Today is Thursday, February 26th. Trump picks Kamala. That's the main headline in today's Express. PM and Guyana leader only CARICOM heads to travel to Florida summit at invitation of U.S. president. And that will form the basis of our poll today. Gary loses appeal. Court clears cabinet to lay firearm audit report. You'll see where that goes. And there's a picture, of course, of Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar shaking hands with Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Basseterre, St. Kitts Nevis yesterday. All right, that's the main story on the front page. Of course, Trump invite a mega development for TNT, so says Dr. Hamid Ghani, Professor Hamid Ghani. Penny, revolting and bizarre speech by PM. The truth can sometimes hurt. That's also an opinion. TNT fortunes will grow under Kamala and U.S. ties, so says Foreign and CARICOM Minister Sean Sobers. Tributes flowing for Raymond. Our condolences goes out to Raymond Edwards on his passing yesterday after battling.
Well, to his wife, Des.
Yes. Oh, my word.
Yeah, to the family of Raymond.
Yeah, I mean,
battled for a long time.
Des was once part of the Power 102, and Radio Vision Limited.
Yeah,
right.
She and I worked a lot together. I still have a newspaper clipping actually that that we did a piece of what they might call journalism, and they highlighted. Cherish that. So good morning to Desiree, and of course condolences to you and your family.
Yeah, and to everybody in the broadcasting, the entertainment world, where he excelled in so many different fields. So I know he's been battling for a long while. He was wheelchair bound for quite a while too. Yeah. So condolences on behalf of the Breakfast Show. All right. Other stories trending. Court clears cabinet to lay firearm audit report. Yankee gun down at home. Removal of derelict vehicles falls under municipal bodies. So, and that's Minister Dr. Kennedy Swarat Singh, who always listens to us in the morning. So, an ocelot was rescued after being shot. So he is praising the efforts made there. Fire officer awarded default judgment. And in sport, of course, West Indies are 104 for 7 in the 14th over against South Africa. All right? That's the Express.
Okay.
Oh my God. All right, so the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for today. Are you all hearing me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because the internet was kind of
yeah, a little while ago when that just dropped off.
It went circling, so I wasn't sure. Anyway, Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. PM set to meet Trump, secures invite to Shield of the Americas summit by U.S. President. PM refinery revival talks, refinery revival top talks between Rubio and Kamala. So Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says restarting the former Petrotin refinery was a central focus of a bilateral meeting with the United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio, as Trinidad and Tobago seeks to deepen energy and security cooperation with Washington. Secretary of State urges CARICOM to confront transnational crime with U.S. help. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has called for closer security and energy cooperation between Washington and the Caribbean nations, warning that transnational criminal networks pose what he described as the most urgent threat to the region. Raghunath, PM's Trump meeting a win for TNT, so says political scientist Dr. Bishnu Raghunath, who believes the Prime Minister's upcoming meeting with the United States President Donald Trump is a win for administration and could be some good news for the country. Government ministers come out in support of Prime Minister, and they came out and commended her for her address at Tuesday's launch at CARICOM's 50th conference. What else? Let me see what else. Matthews masterclass leads Wendy's woman. State to compensate fire officer injured while testing wooden ladder. Beckles wants answers on Tobago supply shortage. Steep Lenten fish prices hit sales in South Trinidad. Well, that's a shock. And farmer blames Tobago food shortage on dependence on imports. Media and cultural fraternities pay tribute to Raymond Edwards. So I know Sir Charles probably has a little excerpt of Raymond singing. So we'll go to that shortly.
I was a message earlier yesterday and asked you all if you all prepared anything for Raymond. I was to ask you all that, but I say, something, all just find and just put too much thing in the chat. So let me. I say, Olia will come up with that. I don't think I would have had to tell Olia that.
Yeah, I say he wants to bump out your segment now and then.
No, but you see, Sir Charles had a very busy day yesterday. We know that, right?
Yeah.
But we'll do a tribute to Raymond tomorrow, God willing, because that story will trend for a little while. I think he deserves it. Yeah. So what are we doing now? I put a possible poll in the chat already, Sir Charles, and it goes with a lot of what people are saying and what people are not saying that we can benefit economically under this current regime. But I want to agree in part with Carlisle Cupid, who said that this is another attempt to divide and rule CARICOM. Because why would you only invite 2 leaders to your summit, to your to talks with them? You know what I mean? Clearly, President Trump.
Who are the 2 leaders you has invited?
Yeah?
Who are the 2 leaders?
Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana.
Right.
And Dean Allen, is Dean Allen said it? Yes. What country so far has seen great fortune dealing with President Trump? Trump is for Trump. Always check the corporations coming in. And I agree with that too.
But they always say is which I've repeated ad nauseum here. It's when interests align, countries, go wherever they want to go. And of course, it's no secret that our Prime Minister is a big supporter of President Trump.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people continue to be surprised. He has articulated it several times.
Yeah.
So, and Ghana has also, maybe less cheerleaderish, but have also supported the US and their actions with regard to Venezuela in a kind of, as I say, not in a forefront kind of way. Mm-hmm. So naturally, those 2 countries who have probably been affected most by whatever is going on in Venezuela are the ones that are likely to be invited. That's how the Trump administration operates, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Who likes us is who we liaise with. Mm-hmm. That's how they function,
Yeah, and isn't there something in the past also where they had some other meeting at some point in time and they invited some of the other persons and they did not invite Dr. Rowley?
Yes,
I
think I
remember that happened too, because Dr. Rowley had a Trinidad and Tobago has had a kind of up and down relationship, I guess, with the United States in some ways. Mm. I know the extradition issue was always one of those issues that irritated the United States. Or so it has been reported in the media, which now seems settled, well, from a legal point of view in terms of what our courts have said. Mm. But yeah, so we'll see.
as some people say, if we benefit, well, then there's a plus. But if it's just Mama Guy, because I think Marco Rubio, my interpretation of him is he has the gift of gab. He knows exactly what to say. And we know President Trump ain't really care about what he say either to get you to like him. You understand? He will say whatever it takes to get you to like him or to get you to agree with him. Marco Rubio seems to me to come across the same way too. That they will, I hope they're not just leading our Prime Minister and our country astray, and leading us on then. Mama Guying us then. I hope that is not what is happening. That we actually benefit.
All right. All right, people, let's just jump into our Did You Know segment, and we shall be back in about 2 minutes.
You can be kind to animals, kind to the paperboy, kind to every stranger who crosses your path. But kindness to strangers is not the measure of our character. Kindness at home is the real test. Because strangers don't carry our history, and strangers don't activate our wounds, and strangers don't mirror back the parts of us that we've avoided for years. Our spouse does, our children do, our home does. And here's the uncomfortable truth that most people dodge. If all of your graciousness is saved for strangers, that's not kindness, that is image management. The real measure of who we are isn't the polite smile that we give to the grocery clerk. It's the tone we use with the partner who loves us. It's the patience we offer when our children are overwhelmed. It's the softness we choose on the days our egos want to snap. Because marriages don't collapse from one major betrayal. They erode slowly from daily neglect, from casual disrespect, from the slow leak of everyday unkindness and indifference. Kindness to strangers might make people like you. Kindness to your spouse makes you trustworthy. Kindness to strangers creates an image. Kindness at home creates a person of character. And if we are kind everywhere except our own house, that's not kindness, that's performance. That is image management dressed up as virtue.
All right, well.
Image management. A lot of people are in that mode.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. That at home they kind of get disrespectful, and they don't manage the relationship at home well. But outside, they're kind to everybody. They would say, "Oh God, he's such a wonderful and nice person."
Yeah.
But at home, they're not like that. So I think it's an important.
Opposite to it.
It's an important message.
Yeah. All right. Lots of interesting conversation on the chat. And
before we go any further, let me just play this for Wendell, because this has to do with the poll, right, Wendell?
Yeah.
So I'll play at least part of it. I don't know how long it is.
Well, no, they already have to do
Calypsonian in St. Kitts and Nevis winning 6 national crowns. Many times I've had to respond live on stage for things that I've heard on stage. So I have to do that as we try to bring our nation together and our region together. Let's start from the top. Oh, how I can sing one song, holding hands, moving on, in a world filled with love. Oh, how I just love for that goodness to come when we sing all the past. No, one song, one song, one song, one song, one song, one song. Every day I'm not the war begins. And every day a nation cries. Every day there's more senseless killings. And every day you wonder why. So do I. As we live in this world of terror, there is just one question: why we all can't get along. But when some in my places on they set is double standards, it's like a choir who ain't singing the same song. Confusion, like when Trinidad and China hugging up and eating dinner. Yet it's pressure for little Cuba just to make a foreign dollar. And to some they have to run, but on others we hammer them. What the hell you expect when one thing goes for one but not for everyone? They said, oh, how I just love. But when we can sing one song, holding hands, moving on, in a world filled with love. Oh, how I just love. But that goodness to come when we sing all the parts to one song, one song, one song, one song, one song, one song. It's dangerous to put a calypsonian in front of politicians. Listen, let's talk about religion. Every day we hear of religion. The saving grace for you and me. Every day we hear that each has the right solution. Yet there seems less love, hope and peace. How could this be? Have the forces of evil succeeded to separate we? Why we all can't pray as one? To say you worship one God but you can't get along is beyond me. All religion should be different parts of one song. A song of love, not when you say I'm lost forever because I don't read the Watchtower, or because one chooses to wear a beard means the other one can't be shaved. I mean the longest wars in history are religious documentaries. Then what words can we say before self can behave? Or dear God help us please. I said, oh, how I just love. But when we can sing one song, holding hands, moving on, in a world filled with love. Oh, how I just love. But that goodness to come when we sing all the parts to one song. Let me see one finger.
Long, but
yeah, powerful lyrics by no less a person than a government minister in St. Kitts Nevis. He is a minister of government there, performing on the stage at the CARICOM and making direct reference, of course, to Trinidad and Tobago. And
they're from St. Vincent the Grenadines?
St. Kitts Nevis.
Oh, St. Kitts Nevis.
Yeah, he's from St. Kitts. He's a government minister there. And he was making reference, of course, to us hugging up China, but criticizing Cuba, which is what we spoke about yesterday.
Yeah, but we talked about yesterday. Did you watch the entire speech, Brenda? Which was your homework?
No, my homework. It was all your homework to watch it. I watched most of it the day before.
No, you said you watched 10 minutes. It's 20 minutes long.
Well,
so you watched half.
I didn't need to watch the rest.
You said you watched half.
Hello, I didn't need to watch the rest. You all needed to watch.
Yeah.
So that you all could come on the same page.
No, but it's the whole thing that you had to watch to get a proper sense. And I mean, I did watch the whole thing. And I mean, I think the difference between Cuba and China is that Cuba, which is how human beings are, even in everyday life, is that China is rich. And China is the second most powerful economy on the planet. If Cuba was a powerhouse economically, oh, let me tell you, it'll be so different in terms of how the U.S. deals with Cuba.
Yeah, but we ain't getting any doctors from China. We get any doctors and nurses from Cuba.
Yeah, well, do we still? I don't know. That seems to be up in the air. But I listened to the entire speech, and I mean, some people were surprised. I mean, I don't know why people may have been surprised, because the Prime Minister has clearly indicated where she sees, from her words before and her actions before, how she sees, what's her worldview at this point. We're very clear on it.
Yeah.
And that's what was reflected to me in that speech, what her worldview was or is. And the thing from the spiel on Cuba, I want to agree, is a little hypocritical in terms of how you also look at China, because it's similar, but as I say, the difference is economic power and where interests align. Because countries don't have a moral compass, and thank you for that lesson again, Dr. Job. I always used to, because I used to be passionate about things like that. How could you be treating X so and Y so? And Dr. Job used to always say, what you beating up about? There is no moral compass in terms of politicians and countries. They align where the interests align. And so that's why China is treated differently, because they see the interest aligned there, even though it may be, even though it is a communist state, and even though there are a lot of democratic limitations behind the scenes, and sometimes that surface very much forward when it needs to be. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And so to me, a lot of it was not surprising in terms of what she said. Not that I agree with it, but I understand her worldview from what she's been saying previously. And obviously she was, as I say, the cheerleader, probably the #1 cheerleader for the United States. However you want to accept that, that's what she is.
For President Trump.
Well,
and I think that's where the difference is.
At this point, which is the Trump administration.
Yeah.
And so she's the #1 cheerleader, I think, in the English-speaking Caribbean. Well, however you want to take that, some people take that as being kind of lucky. I don't know.
Well, we're going to find out soon enough whether we benefit. As a matter of fact, you will get your chance to vote on it today. Do you think that Trinidad and Tobago will benefit economically under President Trump? I
think she also brought up. I also thought she brought up some valid points in terms of. I don't agree with let me say what I don't agree with. I don't agree, in how you approach Cuba, because Cuba has to be approached in a particular way as a member of CARICOM and our rich history with Cuba. So I don't agree with the kind of black and white with regard to Cuba. I don't think it's black and white at all. What else I didn't agree with in terms of what she said? I'm trying to remember a lot of what she said. I did not agree with the free movement of people. She said that that's like on pause with Trinidad and Tobago because we're dealing with an immigration problem. I don't agree with that because I think CARICOM is separate and distinct from that issue, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So I did not agree with that part in what she said. I think we should have moved forward that long ago, but I also blame the PNM because they TTV, and they had time to do it and bring it to Parliament, and they did not do it. Remember, I kept repeating this. I kept repeating this and saying, what are the timelines and what are the timelines? And Amy Brown said, no, that was the timeline. And I went back and checked, and there was a definitive timeline. And none of the Caribbean countries could have kept to that timeline, which irritated me because I felt that that's an important thing in terms of the integration of the Caribbean. So I don't agree with that part of it. But she did talk about Haiti too, and she talked about Panama, and I don't know if it's the US, but with the help of the US, but Panama wanting to have a gang suppression unit to try and bring law and order back to Haiti. And she said that Trinidad and Tobago was willing to contribute to that gang suppression unit. Now, I don't know if it's contribute people or contribute money. I don't know. But I thought it was an interesting statement on the whole Haiti situation because she also referenced how long are we going to say Haiti, we are sorry, how long are we going to say that? So I thought it was important. I thought it was an important point to bring up in terms of the Haiti situation. So it was a mixed bag to me in terms of things. I wouldn't say her speech was all bad. No, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't say that either. But I want to read what Cheryl Maraj said here, and it's food for thought. She said the Cuban people are not resistant to their communist culture. There is no civil crisis. So the Prime Minister should reverse her opinion there. The hardships are not because they are communists, it's because of the US sanctions. You may very well have a good point there. All right. But our poll is up, people. Do you expect Trinidad and Tobago to benefit economically from our current ties with the U.S.? And I had added under President Trump. I didn't see Sir Charles added because I want to specify under President Trump. All right. So you can vote on that, yes or no. All right. Do you think we will stand to benefit economically? I heard talk about the refinery, getting help to open the refinery. I just shake my head at that. I really believe that is Mama Guy talking, but
I'm confused because I thought they were quoting, according to the recent media reports, Dr. Munilal was quoting India or Indian companies to deal with the refinery. Even though, to be fair, the PNM did the same thing. And the PNM had a possible investor. And then there was a lot of uproar and noise from the opposition at the time with regard to that Indian company and the Indian owner. And he withdrew.
Yes.
So, Trinidad can be so complicated and unnecessarily so for such a small space in terms of moving our interests forward.
But we had just before the election too, Richard, didn't we had an agreement with some company in A also too?
A Nigerian company.
Company, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the things. So it's very confusing in terms of the picture of that refinery.
Yeah. All right. So, well, I guess we have to break for the news now. We couldn't take a call, but we will take calls hopefully when Dr. Maraj is on, because we know a lot of you all need help from Dr. Maraj today. I certainly need help from him. You know what I mean? And then we'll take some calls after.
Right? So that interview is directly for you.
Well, not directly for me, it's directly for a lot of us. Including you, no breaks. Sometimes you forget things on this program, and I say, Lord Richard, what's going on with Sir Charles? I call Richard. Richard would call me after and say, Wendell, what's going on with the show? And I would say, well, boy, you ought to deal with that.
I only bad talking me yesterday. That's cool. We're going for the
news. Corey encouraged that yesterday, Sir Charles. Corey alone encouraged that, and I tried to save it from your son.
Oh my word! With friends like that, you really don't need enemies. We will be back after the news.
All right.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now for Thursday, the 26th of April, on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Guile Caribbean TV. I'm Derek McMillan, so glad that you can join us. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar is set to hold a face-to-face meeting with United States President Donald Trump on Saturday, March 7, 2026 in Washington. A high-stakes diplomatic engagement expected to cover energy, security, and regional ties. Persad-Bissessar announced the meeting while in Basseterre for the 50th CARICOM Heads of Government Conference, following earlier talks with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on strengthening cooperation in energy and security, including support for reopening Trinidad and Tobago's refinery. The discussions reflect deepening ties with Washington, particularly around efforts to curb drug trafficking, illegal migration, and enhance regional stability. Rubio has publicly described Trinidad and Tobago as a strong U.S. partner in the Caribbean. The March 7th meeting is seen as pivotal in advancing bilateral cooperation on these key issues. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar delivered a pointed address at the 50th regular meeting of the Caribbean Community in St. Kitts and Nevis, defending her support for U.S. President Donald Trump and criticizing regional leaders. While reaffirming Trinidad and Tobago's commitment to CARICOM, she questioned why the bloc did not speak out when Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana were allegedly threatened by Venezuela. Persad-Bissessar also thanked the United States military for national security cooperation, crediting it with contributing to a decline in murders locally, and said she would welcome such assistance again. She further accused some regional governments of interfering in member states' elections and raised concerns about a 2022 incident involving the return of a Trinidad and Tobago national from Barbados without formal extradition proceedings. The Prime Minister ended by reaffirming this country's commitment to regional cooperation. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles has criticized Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesar's address at the CARICOM Heads of Government Conference, calling it revolting and bizarre. In a Facebook post, Beckles said the remarks were inflammatory and unbecoming of the office, and rejected claims that the former PNM administration assisted in the 2022 abduction of a Trinidad and Tobago national in Barbados. She also questioned the Prime Minister's claim of a 42% reduction in murders, arguing that a state of emergency is not a long-term crime policy, and criticized what she described as an attack on Cuba's sovereignty. Meanwhile, Acting Prime Minister Jearlene John defended the Prime Minister's contribution, describing it as clear and forthright. Trinidad and Tobago is mourning the passing of veteran broadcaster and vocalist Raymond Edwards, whose voice graced the nation's airwaves and stages for more than 2 decades. Trained by late classical tenor Chesterton Ali, Edwards became a multiple music festival winner and earned titles including Most Outstanding Vocalist and Male Vocal Champion. He performed with the international cast of Porgy and Bess and released his debut album, Ray of Hope, in 2006. In media, he served as program director and senior producer at Talk City 91.1 FM and later hosted programs on Sweet 100 FM. He also freelanced for the BBC and contributed to the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Edwards is being remembered for his excellence in broadcasting, music, and public service. A High Court judge has ruled that citizens should not be denied access to justice because of limited financial means. Justice Frank Seepersad made the comment as he allowed Point Fortin resident Hollis Williams to proceed with a medical negligence lawsuit, despite filing it outside the statutory deadline. Williams was injured in a 2015 chopping incident and underwent surgery and physiotherapy at state medical facilities. He was later assessed as 10% permanently partially disabled. After applying for legal aid in 2019, his matter faced several delays, including challenges securing a medical expert. Attorneys for the Southwest Regional Health Authority argued the claim was time-barred. However, Justice Seepersad found the delay reasonable, noting the limitation period was extended due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He said the court must serve all citizens, especially the vulnerable, and ruled that Williams' case will proceed to trial. In the region, Cuba says its soldiers killed 4 people aboard a Florida-registered speedboat that allegedly opened fire on officers in Cuban waters. The incident happened about a mile off the north coast, near Cayo Falcones. Cuban authorities say 1 officer was injured, 4 suspects were killed, and 6 others wounded. It remains unclear what the vessel was doing in Cuban territory, or whether any U.S. citizens were on board. Florida Attorney General James Othmeyer and Congressman Carlos A. Gimenez condemned the killings and called for an investigation. The shooting comes amid heightened tensions between Cuba and the United States. In international news, Mexico's president has praised special forces following the capture of the country's most wanted drug lord, Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known as El Mencho, who later died in custody after a firefight in Jalisco. But authorities warn his removal could trigger fresh bloodshed. In Culiacan, stronghold of the Sinaloa cartel, rival factions are already locked in a deadly internal war. Paramedics say violence has surged over the past year, with shootings, kidnappings, and brutal killings becoming routine. Analysts caution that dismantling powerful cartel leaders often creates a vacuum, sparking violent turf battles as criminal groups fight for control. And that is news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
vibes, fresh energy. This is the NETT Radio Breakfast Show.
Woman, the right, woman, the right, woman, the right.
mornings just got better. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
And all that is available to you right here on The Breakfast Show. Good morning to you, everybody, wherever you may be coming in from. We're happy to have you here on The Breakfast Show. New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio. Get familiar with that word, NETT Radio, because that is where we're heading. Welcome inside the second hour of The Breakfast Show. So, those of you who've been with us from the very beginning, from go, good morning to you. And of course, those of you that came in and have been coming in along the way, we thank you so much. Yeah, getting up a little late, some of you this morning. That's all right. Good morning, Zena. And of course, I want to say good morning to the folks on Gael Caribbean TV, our Gael family. Just to let you know that when we come off of the Gael feed at around 8:30, somewhere around there, you can listen to us all day and every day at newerattradio.com. New Era TT Radio on TuneIn. That way you get us on your Google and Alexa devices. And of course, when you go to our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, like, follow, subscribe, it's very important. And don't forget to hit our support, donate buttons, all right? So our poll is up. Yes, it is. Do you expect TNT, Trinidad and Tobago, to benefit economically from our current ties with the U.S. under President Trump? All right, so under President Trump and the ties, the relationship, the bridges, do you expect Trinidad and Tobago will benefit economically from that? You're voting yes or you're voting no first and anything else after that, right? Stay with us and we will be back shortly.
Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
From the producers of You Don't Leave Out to Watch Corn, now comes the first play of 2026 Scandal in Cedrus. What can possibly be going on in Cedrus? Scandal in Cedrus premieres at the Central Bank Auditorium for 2 nights only on Saturday the 28th of February at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday 1st of March at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are out now at all usual outlets and at the Central Bank Auditorium from the week of Monday the 23rd of February. Scandal in Cedrus. You are ready for this
Scandal
one?
In Cedrus, boy, the place gone mad.
All right, we are back. And just to give you a quick update on the cricket, West Indies ended their 20 overs and 176 for 8, believe it or not.
Ah, boy.
Thanks to Jason Holder and Romario Shepherd. 2 whoopers too, but they batted sensibly to take us to that total. So we have a fighting chance, people. Because if all you know South Africa like I do, them just collapse too. You understand?
Well, at least it's good to see they got a shot of Viagra or something, and or maybe good Trinidad and Tobago coffee. I don't know which one it is, but whatever it is.
We could have reached 200, close to 200, but the last 2 overs, South Africa bowled them well and West Indies well. We didn't bat so sensibly in the last 2 overs. But all the same, we have a fighting chance in this game. 177 South Africa has to make in their 20 overs. And as I said, South Africa, after the first 4 batsmen, that's it. They have nobody. Once we get those wickets early, we're going to win this game, right? So don't forget I told you all that, right? We are going to win this game. Right. So, Charles, you also play us a calypso for Penguin there just now. That I totally disagree with.
I play for Richard.
I totally disagree with that. Because I actually think women love soft men.
They love soft men.
Yeah. We could pull it today. If women prefer, you say, what woman do like soft man? I actually believe it's the opposite. I think woman do like hard man. They love soft men. They love soft men.
Well, it all depends on which way you're looking at it. Now, Penguin did craft that calypso very well.
Clever man, eh? He was
very, very well. He was one of the best, So, yeah. And let me apologize because when we came into the song just died on me there. So, not the program just shut down.
It went soft
and when these things happen, trust me, there's half you're frustrated because you're on air, you're live. And one part of the thing just glitch.
The song went soft on you, so it disappointed you.
All right, well, yeah. Probably it did. Yeah, it went that kind of weird. Oh, my word. I hate when these things happen. I hate. That's why I get up so early. And I make sure everything is working. I test everything. There's this particular program. I have to know when to test it because, sometimes I test it around 5 o'clock when I'm up, right? And it somehow, after a certain time, it's just there, it goes to sleep. I see this. I went up there.
All right.
Yeah,
let's get back to the poll, people. Do you expect Trinidad and Tobago to benefit economically from our current ties with the U.S. under President Trump? That's our poll this morning. You can vote on it right now, whilst I count. So, Charles, tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, we are ready. Let's go.
All right. Michael Oliver said yes. Apollonius, no. Eunice Dublin, no. Boy Bidesi says yes. Cheryl Mirage, no. Did I say her vote? No. Cheryl Mirage, no. Far Rockaway, yes. Jason Samuel, yes. All right. Yes. Okay. Sharon Maraj confirming she visits Cuba. I only visited once and I thoroughly enjoyed it. D-Mark, no. Avion Abraham, no. Marlon Motley, no. Edwin Joseph, no. Magic, no. Alistair Hart, no. Diane Payne, no. Bernadette Yates, no. Anthony Bullard, no. Colted Finn says yes. Robert Allen says no. Joseph Clement says no. Presently, U.S. citizens are suffering under Trump. Beauty Culture says no. David McCarthy didn't vote. Finbar Collins says yes, but nothing tangible. Lester Cragwell also says yes. Ingrid from Tucson says no. No votes here from Sankofa. Michael Robinson says no. Who else? Chris Tucson says yes, once the U.S. presidents get the benefit personally. Annalie Johnson says no. Margaret Thomas, yes. A lot of chat here. Ilarizan says no. Manuela Peters, no. Paraka, he explained just now the system died on him. Christo said, Fan Romani says no. Marlene Saunders says this getting personal.
Yeah, all that chatting. All that voting, all that chatting.
If the chatting, look at chat. Let me get vote. Trini gets fit, no. Dave goes sign, no. Wayne Joseph, no. Shoma Paul, yes. Carl Guevara, no. Gemma Peters Halls, no. Marlene Saunders Sobers, yes. Carl Guevara, hell no. Didn't you vote already? I could swear I call you vote. All right. So Carl Guevara is no. Oh, I think Carl Guevara is responding to me saying woman no like softball. I think that's that hell no for. Miguel Gonzalez, no. Wendell, it depends on the time and season. So says Marlene. Richard Phillip, no. Kenny in Harlem, but he's in Val saying no. Kazim Mohammed, no. Michael Oliver, well, you voted already. You were the first person to vote. Damian Edwin, no. And that's all, right? So morning again from Damian and Amanda. And Slick Money Grip slipped in there with a no just. So those are the votes I have on the chat, Sir Charles.
All right. Okay, so let's see what we have here on. Okay, so I have Pauline saying yes. Captain Ron saying no. Sean saying yes. Junior saying no. Archbishop Ashton Clark saying no. I have Zena saying no. Kenwin saying yes. Richard saying yes. Brenda saying no. Isabilia didn't vote, man, right? Peter Wilson says no also. I think that's what I have.
All right, and I just have one more vote from Kurt Hope in Nashville, Tennessee, says no. All right, so those are the results of our poll, people. Do you expect Trinidad and Tobago to benefit economically from our current ties with the U.S. under President Trump? All right. I think he just went into his second year. He has 2 more years. He just completed his second year, right? As president. Trump. He has 2 more years, I think.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's 2 more. Because remember, they changed president in January, right? They swore in a president in January.
All right, so 53 people on the poll. What am I making there? 50, 30, right? 37, 38 of you saying no, and 15 of you saying yes.
All right. There you go. 38 people do not think we will benefit economically, and
I don't know why.
Yeah. All right. So it's only 1 year he has served so far. Thanks, guys, on the chat. He has only completed his first year. He has 3 more years to go. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the information. I speeding on the end of the man, and the man want a next term in. The man want to be the first president to serve 3 terms in.
Yeah. That is looking like that, you know.
Yeah. So all right, that's the results of our vote. As I said, I have no problem if we benefit positively from it, but I don't know that we will. I just feel they lead in Trinidad and Tobago. They've used Trinidad and Tobago. They found a use for Trinidad and Tobago, and that's what they're doing right now.
In what way?
To deal with Venezuela. You hear anything about Venezuela ever after?
No, but what I'm saying is that did the US need us to deal with Venezuela?
Yes.
How?
I mean, how? As a staging point and with the radar and everything else that goes with coming close to Venezuela. We are 7 miles off Venezuela. It was clear that they needed us, Sir Charles.
All right. I don't know if Trinidad even had said no. If what they set out to accomplish, they would not have gone after it, and they would
Probably
have
not,
succeeded with it. I don't think we play such a big part in that as people are making it out to be. That Trinidad was so instrumental in.
No, we had to be, Sir Charles.
I don't think so.
We had to be.
Yes, I mean that. Okay, put on a radar here. You know. What else? You know, we didn't launch no plane from here, you know, and all those things. So I don't know.
No. If we were not important, you think the US would have even bothered with us? No, but they did bother because we were important.
I don't know if we have that kind of importance in play in that regard. At least that's just my opinion, you know. But our guest is not here as yet, so we can take a couple calls.
Yeah, we can take a couple calls because we would not have been.
Let's send him on the link, right?
Richard had to do that, you know. Richard would have had the contact with him. I didn't have the contact.
Ideal people. So 2811315 and 2995156. The lines are open. We can take a couple of your calls at this point in time on the breakfast show, and of course, you know, we love to talk with you guys. And yes, and all right. So, Captain Rod, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
So, Charles, you asked Richard a question that just when I want you to answer the question that for me, in which way will they do that? Because they're best friends in Europe, they're not open. Look at Trump's record. He only used people, as Wendell said. In what way will they help Trinidad? I don't see it. They're not even helping us here in America. How will they help Trinidad? And in what way?
Captain Rod, I don't know if
it seems like you bent and then Trump will help Trinidad. I don't
Captain
understand.
Rod,
Trump's using anybody.
Captain Rod, listen to what I'm saying to you, right? You have your opinion of certain things, and I respect that. And if I put out my opinion, I would like you sometimes to respect my opinion too. I am free to have my opinion.
I don't.
It's my opinion. I'm just trying out an opinion, just like everybody else who has an opinion. And
we're not talking about opinion here. We're talking about facts here now. I tell you about facts. I live in here. And I know what's going on here.
And there are people who will call me after you call me Captain Ron and show how America has so much good things are happening for them also.
People say things and whatever they want, but give me the facts.
Well, as I said, people from where you are, I am sure when you come off the phone, a couple of people will call us and show us where they benefit from things that are happening and how good life is for them.
It is 2/3 of the country want Trump to come out of office right now. 2/3 of the country. He's not. He in Europe at war, fighting war. If Trump is behaving like how Hitler was behaving, he want to fight everybody. And if he could step on you like a stepping stone to go against somebody that he's against, he will do it. That's what he's doing with Trinidad and Tobago. He don't care about Trinidad and Tobago. I bet you he can't even share what Trinidad and Tobago is on a map. So I tell you. Anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, I mean, if I may weigh in, President Trump has been to Trinidad and Tobago before when they had the Miss Universe. So he's quite aware where he's quite aware where Trinidad is because he has been here. So it's not that he hasn't been to the country before. He has. I you know, I want to agree with Brenda. We don't know what will come out of that because you just don't know. The Trump administration is so unpredictable, and he thrives on being unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
So you just really don't know what will come out of it. So I think the Trinidad and Tobago negotiators, who are ever going to negotiate whatever Trinidad's interest is, will be aware of that. I don't think we have stupid negotiators. And I think what you really have to do is a lot of the negotiation has to go with the machinery of the United States and not so much with the president. In other words, with who issues the OFAC licenses, who does this, who does that. Yes, President Trump has a say, But that's where I think a lot of the negotiation has to come in terms of the decision making from the agency that has to deal with whatever it is that our interests align with. But but there is reason to be skeptical in terms of how secure whatever interest you are seeking will be permanently or in the long term be to your benefit because of the unpredictability which he thrives on.
Yeah, and that's I think a lot of people are seeing it that way, because of the person we're dealing with. If we were dealing with the US, let's say it wasn't President Trump, I think people would have been a lot more hopeful and a lot more optimistic. But the fact that we're dealing with Trump and Rubio, who just seem like they're mama guy. I open it's not so, I would love to see Trinidad and Tobago benefit economically.
And you use a very good word. They are hopeful, and people are hopeful on both sides. So that's it.
I am hopeful, but a lot of people are seeing it more as in terms of Trump and how unpredictable he is. And you're getting the impression that Rubio full of mama guy, the refinery, how they help? Who going and invest in that thing in any serious way? No.
All right,
when does investment come in?
All right, hold 1 minute there, Wendell. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Wendell, I had an experience with some police 2 days ago. I said, let me come and get that one.
Good boy.
A friend of mine had
You come to give Wendell it, or you come to give the show it? Because if you give it Wendell, you could call him privately.
I come to give the show it. My bad.
Thank you.
But when Wendell and I have a personal pee with the police service, so it comes up.
I don't hide mine, and you don't hide yours.
But I wanted to give a story of total incompetence. A friend of mine had a situation where this man that appeared to be a madman was at her business place. She called me and she said, boy, I don't know who to call. You could come and help me deal with the situation. I fly down the road. While I there now, the man had already left the business place and a police vehicle was passing. So she asked me, should I tell the police? Should I report him after to the police vehicle? She said, I said, yeah, sure, let the police deal with it. I am where the guy is standing. The guy has a bag on his back and a headband up, looking kind of not so sane. So I watching her talking to the police, then I see the police come up to the man. They talk to the man, the police officer put the man in the vehicle and carry the man back to my friend's business place. I'm like, okay. Then so I'm on the phone with my friend now. Here the police first encounter with my friend now. Come off your phone. Because she's on the phone with me, yes, I'm hearing this conversation. Then he proceeds to tell her, this is so, and he not from here, and is a misunderstanding, and he from so. So I am asking the question, first of all, did the police check this man's physical ID to see if the name this man give this police is in fact this man? Have you checked radio to the police station to see if this man have any reports of violence based on this name? I saw for a fact that the police did not search this man who have a backpack on his back to make sure this man is unarmed before you put him in the police vehicle. So much of things went wrong with that police and that encounter. On top of that now, when the situation was done with, police tell him, my friend, his name is Superintendent something. When she advised her to go to the police and make a report, police station and make a report. When she went down to the station, nobody have a clue who this police is. So the police he give a wrong name. I even questioned if this was a real police because I can imagine any trained police officer just take a man with a bag on the back and put him in a police vehicle and
a marked police vehicle.
A marked police vehicle. By the way, he had a woman in the front seat. I don't know if it's a police woman. I can't speak to that. But he had a woman in civilian clothes in the front seat.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if it's a police he was escorting or it was plain clothes or whatever.
This police
But
officer, Lincoln, he was in uniform also, or he was in plain
he had
clothes?
on the blue pants and a t-shirt and a vest and a you know, the police had what kind of civilian jerseys they're wearing now. I don't understand it because it's not police uniform, but they're wearing it all over the place. Once it's got the logo on it, they feel it's kid, right?
Right,
Whether it's just for sports and things. But
Right,
the point about the matter is the level of incompetence I saw with this encounter. It reaffirms to me that our police service need retraining.
No, they're hopeless.
Okay. Lincoln, thanks much. Sorry we can't stay with you longer because our guest is here.
All right, great.
So let's bring him in.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
Hi, Dr. Maraj.
Hi, morning, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Maraj. You're unable to put on your camera.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah. You know, when Richard say we spoke to you already, I didn't remember. But you could tell me is the young handsome doctor that we are talking to. You could tell me that.
Wendell, thank you very much this morning. You make the day.
I would have remembered you. But thanks for joining us again, Dr. Maraj.
My sincere pleasure to be here, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Go ahead, Richard.
No, Dr. Maraj, of course, we want to talk brain health again and the issues as people age. And of course, we have a population that's aging, and the percentile of aging people, of course, is growing in terms of Trinidad and Tobago. And I was wondering if we could start off at this point, how does one check your brain health in terms of, is there a medical check you can do, and how detailed should you be if you are concerned about your brain health? If we could start there.
Great question, Richard. So brain health is a function of many different things. We have a lot of different domains of brain health. We have our ability to think. We have our ability to understand the visuospatial environment. We have our ability to have memories and our ability to communicate. Now, different parts of the brain do different things. And I think the part we're talking about mostly is our cognitive or thinking part of the brain. There are multiple different set of tests that can be done to assess brain health. Most of them involve having a consultation with a physician who does a specific test called a cognitive assessment to see how your thinking is working in terms of how your ability to draw is, your ability to remember, your ability for recall, your ability for what other things? Memory, orientation. And based on that, if there's something a little bit awry or not awry, we can head on to certain other tests like imaging of the brain with a CT scan, an MRI, or specifically we're thinking for Alzheimer's, something called a PET scan.
At what age, in addition to doing the test, at what age should tests like that be attempted?
Cognitive impairment tends to happen a little bit more to patients who are on the less young age. So there's this younger onset cognitive impairment that typically happens in the under 65 age range. But once you're above 65, that's typically where things tend to go a little bit off. Now, forgetting your keys, forgetting your glasses, that's all part of normal everyday things that a normal person can do, and it might not be pathological, but repeating sentences, repeating questions every 30 minutes, asking the same thing over and over and over again, taking a drive down familiar routes and getting lost, those are not normal things, and those things are the ones that we should flag.
I'm glad you raised that, because I mean, I'm personally dealing with a situation right now with a family member of mine who was a teacher for years and experiencing those very same symptoms, asking questions over again, not remembering sometimes who you are, and wandering off. And I would imagine people I know of families who have had those issues before. I would have dealt with a family who would have had that issue before. And so it's kind of worrying for us as a family, having to deal with this after this person was so independent for most of their lives. How could a family treat with a situation like that?
Boy, Wendell, a tough boy. It real tough. So from a emotional point of view, it's very difficult on family members seeing their loved ones no longer be the people that they remembered. You remember Daddy being the person who used to keep the household firm and strong and intact, being the breadwinner. You remember Mommy being able to have everything sorted out in the household. And now they no longer are these individuals, because our memory determines a lot of who we are. But if we can't remember who we are, our ability to become that person anymore changes. So you have to understand that the individual that you're dealing with right now is not necessarily the same individual you remember. They'll have peaks and time, especially as the disease progresses, the person becomes someone else. And it becomes very difficult emotionally to detach from that situation. There's a lot of counseling that goes involving patients being able to mentally deal with that, emotionally deal with that, coming to that realization. And then there's a lot of other things that has to be put into place, because now you're kind of stuck in the center. So, for example, you're the sandwich generation. You're taking care of younger kids, you're taking care of your own family, and now you also have the previous generation being a little bit more unwell. And now you're kind of stuck in between having to take care of two sets of generations. And it is quite tough on middle-aged professionals or middle-aged humans in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Mirage.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Dr. Mirage, I'm just wondering, is how much does genetics play a part in that cognitive decline? Because you have some people who are 90, 94, even 100, and they're pretty aware cognitively and are pretty for what we will call normal in terms of their conversational skills and stuff like that. And then you have somebody who is 75 who is, declining rapidly. What differentiates that? And I think a lot of people are confused. Is it just luck of the draw? Is it genetics? Is it lifestyle? What separates those two kinds of individuals?
Lovely question, Richard. So what are the risk factors there? One, genetics does play a significant part. So if a member of your family has had dementia or cognitive impairment, especially your first degree family, so I'm talking about your dad, your mom, your brothers, your sisters, if they've had any of that cognitive impairment, that increases your risk a bit. But it doesn't increase your risk to definitively say that you are going to get it. If you have specific genetics, something called the APOE4 allele, does increase your risk of getting cognitive impairment at a much younger age. You're talking about the 40, 50 age range. By and large, it is a genetics plus lifestyle disease. And in terms of lifestyle, diet, exercise, social. Diet, higher concentrations of refined foods, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cigarette smoking, heart disease. All these things impair blood flow to the brain. And by impairing blood flow to the brain, it's like mini strokes to the brain, where the cognitive centers aren't able to work the way that they're supposed to. So if you're saying it's like a mini strokes for the brain, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but part of that is the oxygen flow to the brain is being restricted. So is hyperbaric treatment a possibility for people who are concerned about brain health? So there's a lot of great studies specifically for the utility of it. It has been purported in some of the more anecdotal areas of study, and some people have used it and have claimed some amount of success. Hyperbaric is not a cheap therapy though. So you need to balance the cost to benefit ratio. We do have a lot of info regarding hyperbarics and cognitive impairment, but there's a lot more in terms of hyperbarics and wound care treatment, post-cancer treatment, sometimes for stroke treatment.
Is there anything that could be done to reverse? I mean, I'm probably asking the same question in a different way. To reverse a situation like that, because there is no, and you're right, there is no predictor of age. I mean, the person we're dealing with, somebody never smoked, somebody never did drugs, somebody who as I say, was in the academic field most of their life. And is it that people in the academic field are more susceptible to this?
So there's two questions there. So people in the academic field have a higher, so brain health. Yeah, let's say you're an athlete and you're running and you're taking care of your muscles, so you're stronger, and your muscles are more developed for a prolonged period of time. People in the academic world usually have a lot more brain power, and by using your brain a lot more, your hippocampus and parts of your brain actually grows a little bit, and it doesn't deteriorate as fast as other people. Not everybody in the academic field will progress to dementia, but certain patients who have a predisposition, as we was talking about with Richard, can get that, and it may take a lot longer to develop signs and symptoms that are clinically manifest. But when they do develop, it would mean that they've had this for a longer period of time than somebody who may have not been as academically inclined or within a job that required them to do a lot of academically strenuous work. Your question before that is if there were any predictor.
To reverse,
right?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it had nothing to reverse it right now. What you just kind of do is once the vehicle is in motion, you could put some stuff down on the brakes, controlling your diet, lifestyle, exercise, and a big one that a lot of people don't pay attention to is social health. We are social creatures. We depend on each other's interaction to keep ourselves mentally stimulated. When people retire, they come out to the workforce, and by and large, that workforce was a lot of always driving their social cohesion, their mental stimulation. And now then they're just at home watching TV, doing this, and not keeping themselves socially active or mentally active. And that tends to cause a precipitous decline in their cognition. And a big thing that we realized during COVID times is when we restricted people from interacting with each other, people who didn't have cognitive impairment before all of a sudden started having cognitive impairment in a very short period of time.
You know, I'm glad you said what you just said, Dr. Maraj, because the people who I have had these experiences with all developed them during that COVID period.
Quite a.
Because they would have suffered losses of family members too in close proximity. All of that, would all of that play a part in how they are dealing with a situation now? What is affecting them now?
Without a doubt, because we don't pay enough attention to how mood trouble gives us issues. So losing a family member, losing loved ones, those are very emotionally traumatic experiences. And if there's not enough support from other people within our environment, either loved ones, social support, mental health support, we won't be able to navigate that troublesome waters the way that we're supposed to.
Yeah, it is. What advice would you give for families who are dealing with a situation like this?
One, don't give up. It's very daunting and very difficult. It's very difficult to have patience, but you need a lot of patience dealing with family members like this. You will have days that are bad, but you will have days that are good as well. So pick the good. When the days are bad, just bear with it. And when the days are good, enjoy it. Make sure and seek help from qualified professionals. If you're not necessarily getting the help that you want, there are other professionals to reach out to. A lot of bush medicine and alternative medicine are not very well studied. I won't tell people not definitely to go and use it. People navigate this waters very differently. People with a higher financial ability, you can go ahead and use some of these traditional method, well, the non-traditional methods. But people who don't really have that much disposable income, try and stick to more the tried and true methods because they're more likely to help put the brakes on this disorder. Make sure manage the lifestyle, manage the pressures, sugar, diabetes. Make sure and try and keep them socially active. And also for caregivers, really important to take some time for yourself because you can burn out, and nobody, you can't be superhuman.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying that nobody demanding that of you. Take time for yourself to give yourself that time to rest and recover, some respite.
Yeah, one of the
just one question,
let me just get out this question out of the way, Richard. Sorry. One of the symptoms that I've noticed, Dr. Marat, is the people become aggressive. I can tell you in one instance, one of the people who I knew, they're both deceased now, attacked her husband because she thought he was a complete stranger in the house. Right? She didn't recognize him, and she attacked him physically. I mean, these are two elderly people too. How is that a symptom that we should be concerned about?
Very sad to hear that. And as I was saying, the person that you were is not the person that you're becoming. So even with the memories being lost, people change their personality. So they become more egregious sometimes, they become more outgoing. Some patients become a bit more paranoid, they become a bit more aggressive. And those things are possible. And medication is useful in the situations where things can become like that.
Richard,
yeah, are some exercises better than others? For example, I'm phrasing it simply, Dr. Mirage. Is it better to play lawn tennis than boring cricket, or is it better to that's just a poke, Wendell. That's just a poke, Wendell. But is it better to play like lawn tennis than football, or better to play football than cricket, or is it better just to do resistance training, which I know is something that they say in some of the literature? What is best in terms of people listening if they're thinking of getting active, or is it just any activity is good?
First and foremost, part 2 is the most important. Any activity is better than no activity. So let me start off on the baseline. If you are doing nothing, walking on the treadmill, walking around the savannah, that is a start. You want to start that. And then you kind of work your way upwards. In terms of specific sports or exercises being better than the others, resistance training is a little bit better because it builds muscle. Muscle is better at burning energy and burning calories. So your ability to handle glycemic load, aka the amount of sugars that you intake, will be a bit more manageable. So more resistance training is a bit better. And then specifically for cognitive health, group sports are actually a bit better because then they encourage cohesion, they encourage communication and a different pathway that's enlightened, as opposed to you just being there with the weights or the resistance bands by yourself. So each one has their own specific help depending on where you are along your cognitive journey.
So our tradition in Trinidad and Tobago of liming is really healthy for your mental, cognitive health then?
If you're liming without a set of beers and rum and this, that, the other, because them things would take away from the social cohesion that you're getting from liming.
You just attack Richard there, Dr. Maraj.
Yeah, attacking nobody. According to the American Cancer Society, no alcohol is actually how much alcohol is supposed to have nowadays. I mean, I don't know how you get through Trinity to really agree to that. But, it is what it is, boy.
A question on the chat here, Dr. Maraj, is about sleep disorders. Will that play a part in it? In it?
Real good. I'm sorry we have such a short amount of time, but lack of sleep progresses to cognitive impairment, and people who sleep on average less than 6 hours have a higher propensity for getting dementia, cognitive impairment as time passes. Sleep is the natural reset mechanism in your brain. When you go to sleep, a lot of the toxic products are degraded and metabolized. So if you don't get good sleep, good quality sleep, or enough of the different types of sleep, you need REM sleep and non-REM sleep, and enough of both to get rid of all the yucky products that are building up in your brain that can cause cognitive impairment.
I like how that sounds.
Is it better? Is it recommended? You know, for example, let's say colonoscopies. You take them every 10 years from age 45, which most Trinidadians don't do. But that's the standard. Is it that at some age, people who are getting older should have CT scans of their brain or PET scans of their brain as part of their medical checkup, or only if they figure only if there is some risk factor that aligns that they should get it, or should they do it as a preventative measure?
Only if there are risk factors, then you will kind of go towards that pathway. You go and do a CT scan of your brain. It needs to be interpreted in a proper clinical context. So, for example, your brain might be a little bit smaller by general measures compared to other people. It might have a little bit of shrinkage, but that shrinkage might not be clinically manifest as any sort of cognitive impairment or even as a predictor for it. The science is still juvenile in terms. I mean, this disease has been around 20, 30 years and longer, but it's so complicated and it's so nuanced in what causes it, what doesn't cause it. We used to think beta amyloid used to cause it. We used to think tau used to cause it. Now we're thinking that it's type 4 diabetes. Now the data is coming and going in terms of what is causing it. I mean, as my grandmother used to say, we are coming here to turn to stone, boy. And at some point in time, something had to take you, but you don't want to lose your memory. So if you're having trouble with your memory, or if your family members are finding that your thinking isn't the way that it should be, that should be a little bit of a flag to be like, maybe I should go get this checked. The earlier things are identified and treated, the better and the more time that you have for interventions to be reasonably useful.
Dr. Mark, do you also cover like Parkinson's disease also too? Do you also?
Yes, we do. So Parkinson's and dementia, they're two different things. Parkinson's is more the movement disorder.
Right.
Dementia is more the cognitive impairment, but they're both parts of the brain deteriorating as time passes and diseases build up.
Well, we definitely have to have you back to cover Parkinson's, because I know a lot of people, because even young people too now are also being afflicted with Parkinson's disease.
Indeed, we have a more aggressive type of Parkinson's in the Caribbean for some strange reason. Some of my bosses in Canada were trying to figure that out. There's some old studies that were trying to figure out if our diet was a contributory factor to that, if the genetics, but it's most likely a complex interplay between the two of them.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard that people who live around these transformers, I'm sure you may have heard it, that they are more prone to diseases like that.
I do wonder if there's a bit more of a old wives' tale kind of situation, because now with our 5G everywhere, so and not everybody getting all these things. So the soil is a bit contaminated, the air is polluted, the water we drink in is a bit rough, the foods that we consuming is a bit different. So, I mean, all of these environmental factors would have some part to play in some level of deterioration of health that will happen.
Should we take supplements?
Which supplements? That's the important thing.
Vitamin D, fish oil, they have to say magnesium, all those sorts of things. I don't know. Which ones would you recommend as a measure to supplement whatever food you're taking with regard to your brain health?
So once you get a balanced diet, theoretically you don't need these macronutrients or supplements. But by and large, we don't manage to eat a balanced diet here. Our diets are much nicer in Trinidad. We have better tasting food. So we tend to miss out a little bit of things, specifically for patients who don't eat a lot of meat. B12 might be a bit deficient in their diet. So I'd advocate a bit more for B12 as a supplement for general all-around health, specifically from a neurological point of view, because your nerves need B12 to keep themselves nice and healthy. And it's a weird population of people that we end up having just with low B12 levels that I've seen over the years. Just in Trinidad, I'd be like, why do you have B12 deficiency? It doesn't make no sense. You don't have the typical risk factors, and you just do the B12 levels, and patients are a bit not where they ought to be with it. So B12 is not a bad idea.
Yeah. I think we're going to have you back, Dr. Maraj, and take calls, because I mean we can't ask all the questions. I mean, and I know some people have been asking questions on the chat, and I think they may want to ask personally. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that as soon as possible. Have you back and take more calls. But this has been a very helpful program once again.
Thanks so much for your time. Happy Thursday to the population that having listened to us. Wendell, Richard, thank you so very much for your time. Have a lovely day, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
I'll get your number from Richard and reach out to you personally. All right?
Cheers. No worries.
Take care. All right, Dr. Maraj. Yeah, all right. So I know a lot of people had a lot of questions, and it's coming up in the chat now, but we will have him back and actually take your calls or focus on your questions on the chat so that he can respond to them. But certainly you need to dig in a little deeper to the Parkinson's disease, because that a lot of people are in fact suffering from that, as well as the dementia. All
right. Well, I know news is next. We're a little behind time, so take it away, Sir Charles.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now for Thursday, the 26th of April, on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Guile Caribbean TV. I'm Derek McMillan, so glad that you can join us. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar is set to hold a face-to-face meeting with United States President Donald Trump on Saturday, March 7, 2026 in Washington. A high-stakes diplomatic engagement expected to cover energy, security, and regional ties. Persad-Bissessar announced the meeting while in Basseterre for the 50th CARICOM Heads of Government Conference, following earlier talks with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on strengthening cooperation in energy and security, including support for reopening Trinidad and Tobago's refinery. The discussions reflect deepening ties with Washington, particularly around efforts to curb drug trafficking, illegal migration, and enhance regional stability. Rubio has publicly described Trinidad and Tobago as a strong U.S. partner in the Caribbean. The March 7th meeting is seen as pivotal in advancing bilateral cooperation on these key issues. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar delivered a pointed address at the 50th regular meeting of the Caribbean Community in St. Kitts and Nevis, defending her support for U.S. President Donald Trump and criticizing regional leaders. While reaffirming Trinidad and Tobago's commitment to CARICOM, she questioned why the bloc did not speak out when Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana were allegedly threatened by Venezuela. Persad-Bissessar also thanked the United States military for national security cooperation, crediting it with contributing to a decline in murders locally, and said she would welcome such assistance again. She further accused some regional governments of interfering in member states' elections and raised concerns about a 2022 incident involving the return of a Trinidad and Tobago national from Barbados without formal extradition proceedings. The Prime Minister ended by reaffirming this country's commitment to regional cooperation. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles has criticized Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar's address at the CARICOM Heads of Government Conference, calling it revolting and bizarre. In a Facebook post, Beckles said the remarks were inflammatory and unbecoming of the office, and rejected claims that the former PNM administration assisted in the 2022 abduction of a Trinidad and Tobago national in Barbados. She also questioned the Prime Minister's claim of a 42% reduction in murders, arguing that a state of emergency is not a long-term crime policy. and criticized what she described as an attack on Cuba's sovereignty. Meanwhile, acting Prime Minister Jerlene John defended the Prime Minister's contribution, describing it as clear and forthright. Trinidad and Tobago is mourning the passing of veteran broadcaster and vocalist Raymond Edwards, whose voice graced the nation's airwaves and stages for more than 2 decades. Trained by late classical tenor Chesterton Ali, Edwards became a multiple music festival winner and earned titles including Most Outstanding Vocalist and Male Vocal Champion. He performed with the international cast of Porgy and Bess and released his debut album, Ray of Hope, in 2006. In media, he served as program director and senior producer at Talk City 91.1 FM and later hosted programs on Sweet 100 FM. He also freelanced for the BBC and contributed to the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Edwards is being remembered for his excellence in broadcasting, music, and public service. A high court judge has ruled that citizens should not be denied access to justice because of limited financial means. Justice Frank Seepersad made the comment as he allowed Point Fortin resident Hollis Williams to proceed with a medical negligence lawsuit, despite filing it outside the statutory deadline. Williams was injured in a 2015 chopping incident and underwent surgery and physiotherapy at state medical facilities. He was later assessed as 10% permanently partially disabled. After applying for legal aid in 2019, his matter faced several delays, including challenges securing a medical expert. Attorneys for the Southwest Regional Health Authority argued the claim was time-barred. However, Justice Seepersad found the delay reasonable, noting the limitation period was extended due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He said the court must serve all citizens, especially the vulnerable, and ruled that Williams' case will proceed to trial. In the region, Cuba says its soldiers killed 4 people aboard a Florida-registered speedboat that allegedly opened fire on officers in Cuban waters. The incident happened about a mile off the north coast near Cayo Falcones. Cuban authorities say 1 officer was injured, 4 suspects were killed, and 6 others wounded. It remains unclear what the vessel was doing in Cuban territory or whether any U.S. citizens were on board. Florida Attorney General James Uthmire and Congressman Carlos A. Gimenez condemned the killings and called for an investigation. The shooting comes amid heightened tensions between Cuba and the United States. In international news, Mexico's president has praised special forces following the capture of the country's most wanted drug lord, Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known as El Mencho, who later died in custody after a firefight in Jalisco. But authorities warn his removal could trigger fresh bloodshed. In Culiacan, stronghold of the Sinaloa cartel, rival factions are already locked in a deadly internal war. Paramedics say violence has surged over the past year, with shootings, kidnappings, and brutal killings becoming routine. Analysts caution that dismantling powerful cartel leaders often creates a vacuum, sparking violent turf battles as criminal groups fight for control. And that is news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
From the producers of You Don't Leave Out to Watch Corn, now comes the first play of 2026 Scandal in Cedrus. What can possibly be going on in Cedrus? Scandal in Cedrus premieres at the Central Bank Auditorium for 2 nights only on Saturday the 28th of February at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday 1st of March at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are out now at all usual outlets and at the Central Bank Auditorium from the week of Monday the 23rd of February. Scandal in Cedrus. You ain't ready for this
Scandal
one.
in Cedrus, boy, the place gone mad.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newera.ttradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Okay, so welcome back, everybody, and I hope that you got all the information that you were looking for in our 8 o'clock newscast. As we enter inside the final session, great interview there with the doctor.
Dr. Maharaj, Nicholas Maharaj. As I say, the elderly couple that I used to look after, for want of a better word, I know that they would have had several issues. I mean, and you saw the red flags, but you didn't take it on. You saw the incidents of things going missing and being called at all hours of the night to say that somebody on the property, and this time it was nobody there. You know what I mean? Somebody in the house, it was nobody there. All this stuff going missing, like somebody come and take it. When you look, all this stuff under the bed. All that I would have gone through for.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's when you look back at it, you say, wow, you saw some of the signs, but again, most of the times when you are there, they're all right, okay, because they're familiar with you, but with strangers, they're different, and for every Sunday I used to go down there, myself and my partner, Steven, we used to go down there to make sure that they're all right. And make sure they eat and so on. But you saw the deterioration over a period of time until one night I get a call that, hey, gotta come now, because there are people in the house. And I said, what people? Because I had even set up cameras, to make sure I could monitor and see what was taking place, and I realized it was nobody, it was just the imagination, the mind going, and as I say, we battled with that for a long, long time. Quite a bit of time.
They can't reverse aging quick enough.
No. Oh gosh. Well, yeah. Well, that is one thing, Richard. I wish that you really are clairvoyant on. You know what I mean?
No, well, that's science, and and science is working assiduously at that. How do you reverse aging? They have breakthroughs, huh? In terms of reversing aging, increasing the length of your telomeres and stuff like that, all of those things. They have all sorts of money being poured into that.
Yeah. And as I say, we're seeing it happening now with a family member, where, and this was, as I said, somebody who taught for years and somebody who accustomed being independent and driving at one time and traveling at one time, and now it's becoming an issue. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just so sad. Anyway, I have another set of bad news for you. West Indies, like they're going to get licks. Bad licks.
Ah, boy. South Africa take off at that speed.
125 for 1 they are batting. They need 31 runs off. No, that's not it. They need, I'll get it. They need 50 more runs. About 51 more runs. Because their target is 177, but they have lots of time. Now, if we get these batsmen and we just drop a return catch, if we get the batsman in the wicket now, we stand a chance, because South Africa capitulates a lot of times. You know what I mean? But the captain, Markram, is in tremendous form, and it ain't looking good.
Yeah, so right now it ain't looking good for West Indies.
Yeah, no, not against South Africa. Ruston Chase, I don't know. I could close my eye and beat Ruston Chase. Anyway, we can take a couple calls, people. You know. Well, you don't want to hear no more of my stories. Like, I have a story for everything now. I have experience with everything now. Yeah. But in Gambia, let me finish this story. I didn't read the last 2 paragraphs in Gambia. They said the Gambia.
Just before you continue, I just want to let you know you are now officially designated. Sir Charles and I was talking about it, and he suggested it, and he said you are the young Mr. Patrick, that you was involved with everything, and you have a story for everything. And I said, of course, Sir Charles, how you could say that? And he said, yes. I said, he's a young Mr. Patrick.
You know, I sometimes I stop and I think last night that's what happened to me why I couldn't sleep. I stop and I think all that I've been through in my young years, all that I've been through personally, you know what I mean, and all that I've experienced, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crime, the experiences with people, you know, marriages, children, you name it, I've experienced it.
Well, you need to go and sit down and talk with the doctor.
But I know, I
Yes, maybe you should. Maybe you should make an appointment.
No, you don't need to spend all that money. You and Mr. Patrick go online.
I've met Mr. Patrick in Trinity Mall sitting all by himself a time, you know. And he recognized me. He called out to me. That's how I knew who he was.
I ran across Mr. Patrick the first time when I met him. He was in a Reba by the ice cream shop. And it's his voice that I made out.
Right.
I hear the voice. I said, well, wait, I know that voice. You like Mr. Porter Spain, you know. You can't miss them. You can't miss them with that voice. Yeah. Anyway,
what happened to Porter Spain these days? Though? Is he good?
I don't know, you know.
No, you're wrong, you know. He's still there, you know.
Okay. I've heard from him in such a long time, man.
Yeah, but like he take a little rest from the radio and stuff and things. He's been kind of sick for what time. You know? Yeah. Miss Sampson, good morning to you.
Good morning, Charles, Wendell, and Richard. I'm a bit late, but I wanted to say, didn't Mr. Trump call Trinidad a S-hole country?
I don't think he referred to Trinidad as that.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. Well, he didn't refer to. I don't think he referred to any country particularly or specifically.
Yeah, he didn't name a country. I don't think he named one.
Yeah.
But he referred to certain types of countries as
okay, no problem.
Yeah. And just in case people didn't know, Scandal in Cedrus is about 2 days away. We start on Saturday at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday at 6:30 p.m. at Central Bank Auditorium. Of course, tickets are available at the Central Bank Auditorium box office 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And people have been going there in droves. And we take links. So you can get your tickets at the Central Bank box office 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Tickets are also available at K Squared Fashions in West Mall, Eastgate, Brentwood Mall in Chagonas, Jabili Rawi in Tunapuna, Electronics in Arima, Shafler Auto Services in Shafler, and where else? I'm missing one. Antoni's Florals in Valpark Shopping Plaza. You can also purchase tickets online. Check RSRR Productions Theatre on Facebook, Insta, or TikTok, and look at the first comment, which is usually where they would put it in terms of the process in purchasing tickets online. We're so looking forward to it. Oh God, we're just going to have fun. We're going to have fun. It's going to be hilarious.
Richard,
yes?
I'm now being told that Coach Angus Eve looking for 2 free tickets because his birthday was recently. Something about that. I don't know what it is really.
Okay, but send me a message now.
Yeah.
I not going to beg. You go get Angus Eve 2 free tickets and I ain't going to get.
Next thing you beg out.
All I said was send me a message.
You beg out your space. Anyhow, caller, good morning. Morning, Sina.
Good morning, Sir Charles.
Hi.
Richard, good morning, Wendell.
Good morning.
Hey, you said that kind of hesitantly. Where's that?
No, I didn't. I had something in my mouth. Good morning, Zina.
Oh, good morning. And Wendell, where you good morning?
Oh, sorry, good morning. I was chatting with Mrs. Eve here.
Oh, listen, I want to go back to the story and agree with Captain Ron. Captain Ron, I think we are on the same wavelength, right? All that you said, I totally endorse it. You understand? Because if the people in America, so many benefits are being cut from them, and that's their country, what kind of help we will get here for people in this country to benefit? A country with black people, where we getting help to, what kind of help we will get?
So let me ask you a question like this, And have we been benefited at over the years in any way from our alliances and assistance from the American people?
Listen, so Charles, I talking about because of this new alliance, what will benefit? You tell me. You don't.
I was saying that I am hopeful. I didn't say that I know exactly what we will be. I don't know what they negotiated. But you are making it sound as if we have never had or gotten anything from our alliances with them. And I don't think it's like that.
Well, I think the U.S. is our largest trading partner. So
it is.
Yeah, but what we will get that will benefit the poor and suffering right now? What we would get? I mean, certain people might benefit, and businesses and so.
Yeah, but they never know. The healthcare might get some kind of thing. You might get some.
When they get cut in America, you go get things, but healthcare.
Yeah, but even though things are happening, there doesn't mean that their foreign investment policies stops.
I'm just saying I agree with Captain Ron.
Yeah, well, I expect that, no problem.
Few of the Americans, who there and living there, and because as I watching what is going on, America not benefiting for Trump being there. Trump is on Trump. He is he's seen about himself. You understand? Yeah. So I can't see the benefits.
All right.
So I'm just saying that I agree, and I know that Richard said it wasn't, the Prime Minister's speech wasn't totally bad, but I find it was ridiculous to leave here and go in front of the people that it don't know that you disagree with them and with his own peace story, and to rub it in the face and certain things. She said, I find it was ridiculous. Sure, just stay home like all the other times where she didn't go to different things. She should have just stay here. Thank you.
All right, okay.
Zena fighting, boy. Zena battling this morning, boy.
Yes.
Very good, you.
Yeah. But the thing about it is that why one person would say that they have not seen, and just as in Captain Ron's situation, he would probably say like this and that, and he is anti-American. You understand? But there are other people who are and are not. And that's the reality of it. It doesn't speak for everybody. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Sir Charles. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Yes, Sir Charles. Morning. I have an opinion like everybody else. Okay, first of all, one man who was born in Trinidad can't come on a radio station and speak for 300 million Americans. Okay, because I totally disagree with Captain's statement about how people are suffering up here. Okay, the 2/3 who say that want Mr. Trump out. I don't know where he got those statistics from. I don't know where he got that. I would like to see those statistics. So one person can come and give his opinion and say there's 300 million people suffering. I am not suffering. Okay, I am definitely not suffering. I know many people who are not suffering. A lot. West Indians who are living out here, who have realized the American dream and are living their life, living la viva loca. Okay, so I'm not going to agree with that. And neither you, Sir Charles, Zena, Captain Ron, myself, or Wendell knows what the future is going to bring. We are only speculating. We are all speculating. Some of us are saying that we will get help. Some are saying that we will not get help. But none of us have a crystal ball, and none of us can see the future. Okay, Sir Charles, you all have a beautiful day.
Yeah, okay. Thanks very much, Rockaway.
Well, I'm so glad he didn't lump me into that because I can't see the future because I have been there and I know what is going to happen, but I am not allowed to speak.
Me, I keep it quiet.
Wasn't there a movie like that, Man from the Future, or something like that?
Look him there.
We have him here.
Yeah.
Caller, good morning to you. Caller, good morning.
Okay. All right. South Africa should.
Caller, good morning.
You want me to tell you what will happen in that match, Wendell?
But I go in the future with that one too.
Caller, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning again, Captain Ron here.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Zena. Listen to me. That gentleman just called there from something, sir. I don't know your financial status, but I'm a person. I don't think of myself only. I think of everybody as much as I can. I help people out. 3 days a month, I go to the prison here in Orlando and give and counsel people. Not because you feel you have food to eat today and tomorrow and next week. Other people out there, you need to take you have, and I recommend you drive around America and go and see how many people are sleeping on the streets, even go in Salt Lake, in the cold, how cold it is, and people wrap up in blankets in the streets. And I rebuke you for thinking because you have a little money that everybody's all right. Stop that nonsense. God listening to you. This really hurt me this morning. All right.
Thanks, Captain.
Yeah. I mean that kind of situation happens everywhere. I think but as I said,
Sir Charles, let me give you some advice. There's some contributions from people, whether it's pro or against, to just listen and leave it. Don't comment on it. And I have learned to do that. You need to learn it too.
When you learn to do that, Wendell? Wendell, when you learn to do that?
I just do it today.
He selectively know when to do it.
No, but you have to know when to do it. You have to know everybody will be given from their perspective.
And that is it. And nothing's wrong with that. But sometimes, some people feel that their perspective is the only perspective, and if you don't agree with them, you don't see their way, they get really annoyed with you. And
that's why you ought to know when to listen.
Anyhow, right, but we all could listen right now because the show's coming to an end and I need to leave. I need to leave. So have a fantastic day, people. Of course, the weekend begins tonight and a second after midnight. Have a fantastic one.
Thank you very much, Richard.
Scandal in Cedras!
Scandal on the breakfast show.
As always.
We have one of those. A scandal on the breakfast show.
All right, so Princess Tong, you'll be our final caller in this session. Let's go one time.
Good morning, gentlemen. One of the interesting things, I had to smile this morning because I'm looking at the refinery situation. Now, the UNC went into office with a promise to the oilfield workers trade union, Mr. Roger in particular, that the refinery would be reopened and that he would have some significant role in it. They had some discussions. I recall, I think Kevin Ramnarayan was appointed to go into the refinery and to look at all the different things. And you have Mr. Kiza, the MP for Point 14, somebody I know personally, see him talking there and, making the case for reopening the refinery, more likely than not, under the control of Mr. Roger and his company. Remember the history of that with Dr. Rowley and the backward and forward. And now, I'm hearing the Prime Minister saying that they're looking at the options with the United States and they're looking for proposals to kind of go into it and whatever. And I really had to kind of giggle because I said, well, where is Mr. Roger in this whole matter then? And clearly he has been upended by maybe the national interests as opposed to his own personal interests, So that that is not going forward now. The issue with the refinery is this, and I think I told you this already, Sir Charles. In speaking to people who know the industry, a lot of the equipment, particularly aspects of the equipment that need to keep working, heavy machinery, that because of the downtime, a lot of the equipment would have, to put it in Trinidad words, they would have warped. So if you have a shaft that's supposed to be turning and it wasn't turning, then because of the lack of action, it is likely to bend in the middle. Is it engineering analysis? There are people who know the industry. And therefore, all those things need to be replaced. And any company coming into that arrangement would have to put out a substantial outlay to make them viable again then. And therefore, I'm looking at it in the context of some American companies being asked to invest into Venezuela. Mention that same problem then. The security issue, well, they don't have that yet. But the fact that it mightn't be economically viable for them to go in, particularly with a low price of oil. And then when I look at the fact that Guyana have been using what you call ship refineries, ships parked off the coast that could do the refining process. I really wonder how viable that is for an American company or any company to go into that process unless they have very, very favorable terms and conditions in terms of what profit they could make out of the product coming out after. So all to Mr. Roger, I had to tell him bye-bye because clearly he doesn't have the capacity to engage the government in that process, and I've been hearing lately something about, I'm not sure, about some $40 million judgment or something against the I think it's patriotic or something like that. So well, that, it's not looking too good for him then, so he'll probably stay silent, and I think his record of saying take your thing and go, the investors, all that will come into play. And I suppose the government maybe even look at that also. So I think he has been taken for a ride. And all I could tell him is best of luck,
Yeah. I see this reopening of the refinery as another hoax. Just like how PNM run that local government reform hoax, this opening of this refinery is another hoax being perpetuated on the country. That ain't happening, and you're very right. Who going to put out the amount of money that is needed now to do that when they have so many other ways of refining oil? Who going to do that? Who in the right mind going to do that? Knowing very well how that was crippling our country and our economy. Who going to take that chance? Which American company or any company anyway going and do that? Eh? Please.
Only time will tell. I had to play that song for all the tomorrow. That's Jimmy Cliff. Time will tell. Anyhow, but our time is selling right about now. So, Wendell, that's where we're going to leave it for today. I know you have plenty of things to do. Before we go, just to let people know that we will be doing our karaoke giveaways, prize giving tomorrow, right?
Yes, we do the karaoke prize giving tomorrow.
So, our winners, Brenda, Fran, and Robert. Right, you all make all your way to Rumbox tomorrow for 4 p.m. And anybody else who wants to come down, all in, feel free to come and hang out,
Yeah. Just remember, your prizes involve cases of drinks. So come prepared. If you ain't coming prepared to put it in a cooler and drink it one time, come prepared with transport to remove it. Yeah. Right? So come with our transport. But again, ride shares carry you home too, so you can call a ride share, put it in the back. Yeah.
That's an option.
Or you can hire Scorpion Pepper. Scorpion Pepper, I know you're worried about parking. I will afford you special parking. Trust me. We can't have. Let me leave you alone for now.
Yeah. But it's going to be a nice time. So we're doing that at 4 o'clock. Or come down and hang out and drink two. Whatever do all the drinking
is
I'll drink 2 shandy.
Where's the thing? Where's the vodka drink? What is thing? It is coming ice And Smirnoff.
Oh, yeah.
And Smirnoff Apple. That is the drink she is drinking.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Caribbean. I like Caribbean though.
Caribbean, yeah. It have the Caribbean Rosé and it have a new one now. I think it's Bellini. Martini. It have all different kind of Caribbean now.
It seems like every month there's not something new to the lineup.
Yeah. And of course we'll have Rude Boy, right? And Shandy for people who insist on Shandy, like the Jessup Girls.
Yes.
Right? Shandy. Yeah, we have that too. Right?
Okay.
Okay, folks. See you tomorrow, please God. This has been
The Breakfast Show. But keep listening to us here on New Era TT Radio. Remember, we stream all day at newerattradio.com. New Era TT Radio if you're on TuneIn. And yeah, so we'll catch you tomorrow. And go ahead, Wendell. This has been
The Breakfast Show.
Get up. It's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah.
Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The Breakfast Show and